Hey, how you doing? How you doing? How you feeling? Welcome to another episode of Conversations with Coach La. It is Sunday, and it is a beautiful day in my neighborhood. Y'all know I was outside today, right? I was outside. Shout out to my Urban Heat family. We took over the Hampton Beach today. And yes, I still made it to do my show. I know y'all are like, how in the world did she pull that off? But I am here. It is my birthday month, and I'm on my birthday tour. So I have a bunch of things I'm going to be doing all month long. So hopefully y'all get with me and spend some time with me on my birthday. This is chapter 48. So I'm super excited about just being here and just loving life. Now tonight, I got a special show for you. Y'all know I like special shows. This is not my regular show because we are going to be, well, first of all, I got 4 guests in the building. That's not typical. I don't usually have 4 people at once. And this is a show where we're going to talk about the things that we would do for love. You know, I told y'all last show at 48, I've been thinking about love and romance and all this kind of stuff. So it's not surprising that a good friend of mine reached out and said, hey, can you talk to the cast of my new movie that's coming out? So let me tell you a little bit about this movie. First and foremost, it's written by Charles Jones, who is a native of Mattapan. Y'all know I've been living in Mattapan for like 19 years. And he has a new production company called Iconic Concepts. And his movie is based on his best-selling book on Amazon, which was called A Lifetime, The Beginnings. And it literally hit #1. So he has a new movie that is coming out in August called All Love. So tonight I have producers, executive producers, and I have 2 of the main characters in the building to talk to me about their role in the movie. But more importantly, we're going to get to know them, right? And that's what I told them. I said, I want you guys to let people know who you are and why they should come see this movie. And I always think that there's a intersectionality between people and their characters. I'm kind of curious to see how much their characters symbolize who they may be in real life. So first up, we got Adrian, who's the director and the executive producer. He's actually from Barbados. Check that out. He has a passion for film and television. And so he's going to tell us a little bit more about himself, but he started making films at the age of 20 is when he got the first taste of filmmaking. We also have Shamika in the building, who is born and raised. She is a true Bostonian. And she first dipped her foot into acting and started off acting in the background. So now she's in the front. So I want to know how she made that transition and that switch. We also have Jamal. Now, Jamal grew up in Dorchester. You know, there's always a beef between Dorchester, Roxbury, Mattapan. So this is really interesting. So, he's coming and representing Dorchester. And at the age of 12, his brother and I would jump on the Red Line train and ride all the way to the last stop. I did that too. I think a lot of people did that. That was like an adventure to see where you would end up. You ever got on the wrong side of the train too? So we got Jamal. And last, but we got Dominic. Now, this young man told me that this is his 3rd project acting. So he's no longer a novice. He's becoming a veteran. And I'm interested to learn more about him as well. And he has a lighthearted personality. I can tell that he has a very calm demeanor. He also is born and raised and grew up in Boston. So there's a lot of Bostonian energy. And Boston is just doing it, right? So let me bring them on camera, because they're in the building with me. What's up? I'm turning y'all mics on. Hold up. All right, now, here we go. How y'all doing?
Good.
Y'all can get talking to Mike. Everybody say hello one at a time. So first up, we got Shamika. How you doing tonight, Miss Shamika?
I'm doing well, thank you.
This is the first time you've been on an interview, you said.
Yes, it is.
And you've been in the background. So now you're up front, close, personal. And tell us a little bit about how you got the bravery, or how did you end up in the front?
So how I ended up in the front was going into audition for All Love, but I wanted to be in the background because that's where I'm used to. So I was told by Adrian here that I would have to audition and, you know, say a line. So once I did that, I got the role of Monica Stevens.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So you're playing Monica.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Dominic, this is your third project, and you are playing which character?
In this film, I'm Jason.
Jason.
Yeah.
Okay. So tell us a little bit about your characters, Jason and Monica.
You want to go first?
Sure.
Ladies first.
The role of Monica is basically she just wants to be able to be not work anymore, and she'll do anything that she can just to do that. So I don't want to give too much away because you got to tune in.
No, we're not going to give too much away. But she sounds like she got she's a hustler.
Yeah,
that's the hustler.
She do.
Okay.
Hardworking, but a hustler on the side.
Okay. And Dominic, what about you?
Jason, he's just a loyal friend. You know what I mean? Just ultimately loyal to his guys. It's a little mystery into that and what ultimately loyal is, but just come find out. You know what I mean?
So we got the directors and the producers in the building too. Tell us your role, because I know you have to make the script come together and come to life. You know, I've always been told the best movies are the ones with the best producers and directors, because even the most talented actor, if you don't give them good direction, the movie may not play out very well. What do y'all think about that?
Sure, I'll get started. So there's truth to that. I mean, we were fortunate to have a great cast, folks who were willing to come out and work, folks who had, even though it was no first, second, or third projects, they were pretty talented and were willing to come out, learn the lines, and kind of get everything done. They following direction is a big thing, obviously, and being able to kind of take the direction, internalize it, and then deliver it on camera is a skill that not everyone has. So I always give kudos to actors when they're able to really deliver on that character, own that character, and make it their own.
Mm-hmm. So in that, do you ever have to I feel like, listening to some of the things Denzel Washington has talked about, pull it out of them? That's
the definite. You definitely have to pull it out of them.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. But not in a bad way. I would say that they have it in them and that they know their character, but sometimes you want them to pull themselves a little bit into the character. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? To get that energy and that depth, on this project, it was a real experience.
You smiled when you said that. What do you mean, real experience?
Well,
for me, everything a real experience?
Well, for me personally, making movies has always been a passion for me, and this is actually my first project to go to a big screen.
Oh, that's exciting.
So, working with this cast, like Adrian said, it was really good because this is a great cast. And they have a lot of different backgrounds and a lot of different energies going in. And when you walk into a room like that, it gives you tingles, because you want this to happen. You take this energy, this thing out of your head, this dream, and here you have these people and you say, listen, make my dream come true. And they're all like, what are you talking about? Like, I'm just going to read this script. And we're like, no, become this person,
Mm-hmm.
And that takes a lot of emotion, a lot of mental energy. And yeah, these guys score it.
I can hear the passion in your voice as you're talking about it. Now, talk to me a little bit about taking something from being a book to a script, because I know that's not the easiest process. Now, do you guys actually do that as the producer and the directors, actually take the book and make it a script?
In a way, in a way. So obviously Chuck wrote the Charles Jones, Jr. Wrote the book. And he was one who actually did most of the transition from the book to the script and the screenplay and the script. So what our jobs were, Jamal and I, were when you have a writer, and I know Chuck is listening, we have a writer writing a script. Sometimes they try to put everything from the book in the script, and you can't really do that because it's a movie. So it was our job to help them kind of edit out things that weren't needed, but try to still keep a lot of that the main energy, the main focus, the main storylines in the book, from the book, and bring it into the movie.
Now that process, I'm assuming, is not the easiest.
No.
To negotiate what stays and what goes.
No, not at all. I mean, again, so Chuck was willing to listen. I go back with Chuck 30 plus years, right, at this point. So we can talk about whatever. So once we started this process, my phone was always ringing. We were always talking on the phone. I mean, my family knew Chuck was calling. And early in the morning or late at night, they knew Chuck was calling. But it was great because he was willing to listen and take our opinions and our suggestions on characters, on storylines, and really on what went into the film.
Mm-hmm. So would you consider this to be more of a collaborative process? And what I mean by that, sometimes when you have a script, and again, y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, people will ad-lib, right? And there's not a lot of creativity in ad-lib, and you need to read it just the way it is. Was this more of, hey, if that sounds a little bit better, you went with it, or how did y'all work? How did y'all work that out?
I think they can determine that.
Exactly.
Yeah. This is definitely for the actors.
I feel like my fault to just stop there. I don't want to cut you off, you guys. But I feel like it was definitely collaborative because there's been scenes where the screen read one thing, and I had to I came to set and read a completely different block, but it was quick, and these guys made sure I was comfortable with doing everything. So, but it was definitely collaborative, I would say, in that sense. And even in some other scenes I've seen that I've been on set for, things went a little awry, or like a character showed a little bit too much or too less emotion, but it just fit. So whatever worked at the time, that's kind of sort of what I seen we went with.
So for me, I can say that we did have the ability to work with our characters the way we saw fit. And I would try to stay on script, but if I saw it in a different way, I would try to say, can I say it this way, or, act it out this or another way, or whatever the case may be. And it was never an issue because you have to put yourself in that character. So, yeah.
So there's a lot of drama in this film. I don't know how much you guys can sort of tell without telling it all, but it seems like from reading it, it's a love story that goes awry.
Yes. But again, without going into too much of the actual story, it is a love story that goes awry. It's a situation that starts off as something that seems fairly small and kind of gets blown out of proportion. And as a result of that, it starts to affect the lives of all these other people surrounding this core love story. So it's almost like dropping a rock in the pond and watching under the waves for kind of ripple. The way it kind of flows out and affects everyone, it ends up in this big finale. So
is it like a combination of 6 degrees of separation? There was a film I saw a while ago where everybody sort of ended up intersecting in some kind of way. But they didn't really know each other, but somehow all of their lives intersected because of one decision. I forgot the name of that movie. Oh my goodness.
Who was in it?
I hate when this happens. I'm having a brain freeze. Hopefully it'll come to me.
It's all right.
I feel like it was a pretty good movie too, and I cannot remember the name of it. I know exactly It wasn't like a lot of like well-known actresses and actors. Oh my gosh. Anyway, let's keep going. But like I think about 6 degrees of separation and things of that nature, and the way people's lives intersect.
There's an element and an aspect of that in this film where and it's funny because when we wrapped the primary photography on the film, talking to some of the actors afterwards, I got to realize like some of these people never actually shared the screen with each other. And it was funny because like we have characters who were big major players or had a lot of scenes, and we saw them all the time. But then when it came to putting the film together and the editing process, you realize that these actors really didn't spend much time together on screen, if any. It was kind of interesting. It kind of had that kind of real life feel to it to me, where it's like, yes, these things are affecting you, but you don't always see why or who's causing these issues. So that was kind of very interesting to me as well.
So the film was done both in Boston and in Providence.
Yes, Boston, Providence, Cambridge, Lowell, a few other places. Where? Randolph. Oh yeah, definitely Randolph. Yeah.
So can you guys talk about that process of finding the locations and what was that like for you as actors and as producers to move around in all these different sets?
Stressful. High stress.
In one word.
High energy. No, it was fun. There was a lot of fun to this. Just experiencing different locations and stuff. I mean, I apologize to the actors for moving them around all over the place. But getting those locations were key. And getting those atmospheres were very key, because in this story, I don't know, love's complicated, and it's very random, so getting the right atmosphere for these actors and this whole thing is very important. So the Providence location, I would say, was probably the most.
Yeah, that was definitely a unique location.
Yeah.
Basically, this giant warehouse is being turned into condos at some point. We kind of caught them at the right time where you said, "Oh, you can definitely use this location. The condos aren't coming for a while." So Jamal and myself drove down to Providence and met with the on-site people there and kind of did our walkthrough, and we were kind of blown away by it. We were like, "Oh, this is perfect. This is exactly what we're looking for."
Shout out to Momo, by the way.
Yeah, hey Momo, I'll be listening. Momo was great, and this location got to be Monica's Shamika's character here, Monica's investment property, I guess. I'm not even sure what you would call that, but yeah, great time in Providence.
Nice. So this is all about love. So in what ways maybe has this story mirrored your own love lives or triggered things in your own world?
Oh man, I'm so glad you asked that question. I'm pretty sure that Dom has a great answer for that.
What? How you gonna do me like that, bro?
Well, we got to make it a little spicy. Like people want to know.
I mean, this hasn't mirrored my love life at all. This is completely out of the realm of my. This is completely out of my wheelhouse. However,
is it toxic? Is the whole storyline?
I'm a saint, so even if it was toxic, I don't go there. What I will say though, it's a very telling story of how love can affect so much and people. You know what I mean? And even in ways that I've never experienced, it's like, oh shoot, people can like somebody this much and trigger this much in life. So I could say that that's the effect that it had on me. I don't know why you would put me on the spot like that.
I think I was watching the Heart Boxing episode, and I think you were on there with another actor, and I can't remember who he said he would not be friends with in real life. Was that Jamal?
So that was actually Sparring Minds that they were on, and it was Henry who plays Marcus, Henry Wigfall who plays Marcus in this film.
Mhm.
And he was explaining why he wouldn't be friends with Marcus in real life.
And that made me want to see it. I'm like, I want to. That was him. I want to see how bad he's like. He's a fool.
Come and see it because
started. I'm not supposed to say that, but he did. He was like, he would never be my friend. I would never hang out with him. He's just a loose cannon.
Marcus is one of my favorite characters in the movie. Honestly, the way he kind of approached life and the way he approached like some of the characters, and including yourself, the Dom, the Jason character, was pretty interesting.
That I would agree with, but on like the inverse of that, and it's crazy because I feel like as loyal as my character is in that film, and as passionate as Marcus is in that film, they would probably be the best of friends. If
no, I think so.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think if you didn't look at your character as less than, yeah,
it is what it is.
Well, let's get Shamika in here. How does this storyline impact or mirror your experience with love?
As far as my character, Monica Stevens, it does not mirror my love life at all. Half of the things that Monica has done or that she does, I don't see myself ever doing that. So
the things you
can't
do
relate.
for love.
Right,
everyone.
exactly. I can't relate. Loved playing the role though, but
absolutely. So you guys are tuned into the Urban Heat 98.1 FM. We're talking with the cast of All Love, which is coming out August 3rd, 2024, right here in Boston, Massachusetts. So we're just learning more about the film, and also the executive producers are here. And two of the cast members are also here talking about love and the things that we would do for love. Now, there's a quote that was given on the press release. Shame on you for lying to my face. Shame on me for letting you lie to my heart. Xavier Harris, All Love. How does that quote resonate? Hit? Like, what are y'all thoughts on that quote?
You can't answer that.
I watch me answer it. So how does the quote resonate?
Yes.
So
it's interesting that quote was picked to be put in the press release.
Yeah, I'm not sure why Chuck put that quote, but I think he wants to test us here. But that quote kind of resonates because of exactly that. Like, we're talking about different types of love, love of, the romantic type of love of a brother, in arms, love of money. In that case, that was more the romantic love side. And, they're just, I think it kind of lets you know that there's a little bit of deceit happening in that case, and there's still love there, but there's some deceit. So maybe not, like as you mentioned, maybe a little bit more on the toxic side of love.
It's interesting. I had Sammy on from Sparring Minds, and we talked about the topic of loyalty, and I heard you say that a couple of times, Dominic, about your character being very loyal. And we talked about this idea of loyalty sometimes getting you in a pickle, right? Like you can have blind loyalty, and should you just be loyal? And what does that look like? So what do y'all think about loyalty?
Well, I think loyalty is very important. So I think it's kind of fitting that I'm Jason, because I have the same loyalty to my friends, you know what I mean? And even if it does get me into a pickle, I just got to live with that pickle until it plays out. You know what I mean? That's just what I believe in for the most part. But I feel like everybody is not equipped to deal with that, and they don't want to deal with like the negative parts that come with the loyalty. And that's where there's conflicting interests. So
interesting answer, Dominic. Very interesting. So he said he's gonna go all in. He's gonna be loyal and deal with the consequence of the pickle. Does everybody agree with that?
No, definitely not. No.
No. Who wants to take it next?
Mo?
The concept of loyalty.
Loyalty in love can be extremely, extremely dangerous and extremely toxic if in the wrong care. and in the wrong mindset. In this movie, I would say that we encompass great deals of unprotected love. And yeah, you guys get to see a nice display of whew,
that
drama.
woo, brings me to my segue question, because on this show we always talk about therapy. I'm a psychotherapist by day, radio personality by night, and we always ask every guest, no matter what we're talking about, what therapy means to them. So what we're going to do, which is a little bit different, is think about the intersection of therapy in your characters' lives, right? And maybe what would have happened if they would have got some therapy. And then also just your own experience with therapy, to have some fun with this question.
I'll start. I'm going to say for my character, I feel as if Monica had some therapy. She wouldn't have done half of the things that she's done. You know what I mean? You guys have to see the movie to understand why I say that. However, for me personally, I feel as though therapy is important to clear that mental and clear your mind, to be in that positive space. So there's a lot of characters in this movie that could use some therapy. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, just based on what I'm hearing so far, I'm like, good Lord. Some people don't believe in therapy.
True.
One of the reasons why I even started the show is to really debunk what having a therapist looks like, feels like.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not your traditional, what maybe you would consider to be a therapist, and representation is really important, but it's simply a conversation. And I'm really big on, what do you want your life to look like, right? We spend a lot of time focusing in on our problems versus our strengths and what we want. And I think a lot of times that's what gets us stuck, and life is gonna life. You're gonna go through some things. It's like, I don't know why some of us believe that. I don't know if it's gonna be a cakewalk or where we got this perception that bad things are not supposed to happen, and you're not supposed to experience any pain or any heartbreak or any disappointment. Like, it's just not true. Like, if you go back to even when you're a kid, like the first time you get told no, or you can't have any more candy, or you can't have that ice cream cone, like, you experience pain, like it's part of our continuum being human. So yeah. So what about our lovely producers? What's your thoughts on therapy? And if you do a part 2, a sequel, are you gonna send them to therapy?
I can start with this one, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So personally, when it comes to therapy, I do believe in therapy. This film was actually a form of therapy for me. Making this film, came with some stress, obviously good amount of stress, but the therapy came in the fact that, we were kind of getting to do what we wanted to do, like kind of a dream that Jamal mentioned earlier. We had this dream for a long time of making films. And I just give a shout out to a good friend of mine, Alan Camp, award-winning director Alan Camp. He brought me in that first film that I got to work on. And that was big, because I never really thought that there's something that you could do. So while working on this film, it was like everything going on in your life, in my life, I should say, personally and professionally, this was something that helped keep me grounded and helped me to really feel that kind of a release of a lot of that stress, outside stress. Because I got to do something I enjoyed and I love doing. So this was a form of therapy for me, making this film.
Yeah. People don't realize there's secret sauce, but it's not so secret, right? Which is doing things that you enjoy and that you would do even if you didn't get paid. Even if you got to have a 9-to-5 to take care of your basic necessities, having something else that you really look forward to doing is such a game changer, and it is a form of therapy. And a lot of people, like from dance to music to making films to writing books. Like those things give you so much joy and it gives you meaning in life. So yeah. What about you, Mr. Jamal?
Watching movies has always been my therapy.
The movie buff.
Oh, I love movies. I love movies. I love TV. I love everything. Anything of a creative mind where you just have to sit and just watch and see someone's point of view and just take it in, whether you like it or not. You know, and like you said, other jobs in my daytime, I'm a barber, so I am the therapist to a whole bunch of people sitting in my chair. But no, it goes both ways. I get it. I get a lot from them too. But like Adrian said, making this movie, man, this was a whole nother level of therapy because not just like behind the camera and on the set, but like all the things that was on the other side of that, the business side. I really had to step out of my comfort zones on a lot of things that I never, ever done. And the simplicities of checking emails. I'm a barber. I don't check no emails. I'm like, just call me or text me, man. Like, and they're just like, okay, I'll CC you and blah blah. CC who?
Right.
But yeah,
those learning curves, right?
yeah. But in this movie, yeah, like they said, there should have been a therapist on set because everyone needed it.
Was that because of the script or because of the stress of just trying?
I think just the development of the characters itself.
Right.
These characters were fitting an image of just society from a cultural standpoint and just the lack of therapy that the culture gets or doesn't get, you know, and the results of that and the choices that they make when you don't stop for a second to really think about it and see what it does, what it affects, things of that nature. So
I think that's a good point. I think, you know, we don't think about what it takes to go into that space to become a character and like what's needed emotionally and psychologically to fully embody somebody else's story. And so forgot which movie they were doing. I think it might have been was it Precious, the one that Monique was in?
Precious.
Oh yeah.
And they were talking about just the impact of that movie and also the one with the 4 young men. Oh goodness.
The Exonerated 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they were talking about needing to have therapists on scene for that because some of the scenes were so impactful to reenact. And even the people who were watching it, who were actually reenacting their real life, it was like that was very triggering for them. So I think you make a valid point that we don't often think about what it takes to actually step in to a role and be an actor or actress. So I think it's a phenomenal passion and career. But Viola Davis was even talking about the process that she went through of becoming different characters that she played and like what that took from her emotionally. So speaking to you, to both Shamika and Dominic, like, did you need therapy after playing your character?
Now because I've seen, sorry if I'm loud, but I've seen a million people like Jason. So to unbraid my hair, tie bandana, and just being around the homies, that's another day in the life. I don't want to sound like a street guy. Nobody see this and want to harm me, but you know, that's just like another day in the life of just an urban guy.
So can I talk about the name of the posse? Is that truly the real name?
Yes.
Yeah, that's the name.
Clown posse.
Yeah.
Okay. When I read that, I said the irony of that, like it was like a what do you call that?
Double entendre.
Yes, that. I'm like, so because it's kind of like, what are we trying? They're clowns, like literally, or
We act a circus.
yeah, like a circus. What is going on with that name?
It's fitting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just like, when I read that, I said, is that an error?
Nah.
That's the real name, the clown posse.
But I didn't need therapy Sorry.
No, I didn't need therapy either after playing my character.
Mm.
I don't know.
Could I just say like how impressed I was with these two and some of the other actors?
Yeah,
You were just talking about getting into these roles,
Yes.
and again, I've been doing this for a little while. I've done a few movies, bunch of short films, and it's like it always impresses me how like they turn it on like that, and then they're back to being normal afterwards. And it's like I don't understand how you do this. I can't do this. This is not my strength. But I can see why people would need therapy. Like I know I was reading an article a while back where Leo DiCaprio was mentioning that he could only do X amount of movies a year because then he loses himself and he goes into this place mentally where he doesn't know who he is anymore. So
it's like it's kind of, again, it takes a special individual to be able to have that capacity to step into another role. Like Idris Elba, how he's able to like change his accent and all of that, like, and going like I never knew he was British, like you know. So to do that is not something everybody can do.
No.
You know, so yeah. So do you guys foresee that this is something that you're going to continue doing in terms of acting and producing? Have you found your thing? You found your thing.
Yes.
How do you know that you found your thing?
So
when I mean thing, your passion.
Yeah.
You know?
So part of my language, I said it before we started. I'm a camera whore. So as long as somebody just got a camera for me and a script, that I can respectfully do, and I don't feel like I'm not doing the role justice, or I'm kind of sort of whoring it out, so to speak. I won't do it. But outside of that, I feel like the passion I get from like somebody saying action, be this person, that's how I knew I found it.
What they call it, a working actor. You know, like, you know, when you're in it like that, it's a different kind of ball game, right? Like you are always perfecting your craft, and it's about the art form. So much respect to you for finding your thing.
Appreciate it.
What about you, Shamika?
I would have to say for me, I would continue acting. However, I would say that rather than, I started off as a background actor, I can no longer be in that box. You know what I mean? So I can no longer be like, all right, I'm going to go for a background acting job or anything. No, I got to think further now. I got to go for bigger roles and audition and, better myself. Yeah. So
girl, wait a minute. Go ahead. You gave me my segue. Listen to that. Y'all heard that? Did you hear that?
Don't leave a thing.
Let me tell you something.
What?
Don't leave a thing.
Don't leave what?
Don't leave it.
Well, you guys know you tuned into the Urban Heat, 98.1 FM's Boston's only Black-owned radio station on iHeartRadio. And tonight we're talking to all love, the cast, the producers. Shout out to Charles Jones Jr. for putting together or writing this awesome book that's now becoming a movie that's going to be released and premiered, should I say, here in Boston on August 3rd. I will be there as a special VIP guest. I'm super excited about having my first red carpet experience. So you just said my segue, Miss Shamika, is the bet on self moments. So you may or may not know this, but I'm sure you do because Chuck probably gave y'all the debriefing of what to expect. But when my dad passed away 6 years ago, I had to find a way to like hone in and keep myself going and go through my grief. And he used to always tell me to bet on myself. So I started saying, you know what? You got to bet on yourself. You got to get up, got to bet on yourself. And I started saying hashtag bet on self. And then it became a program. And that was a segment in my show, which is a bet on self moment. And so that's just a time in your life where you really start to, one, looking forward and not in the rearview mirror about how you want your life to go, and realizing that things may or may not have been your fault, but it's your responsibility to take charge and to move your life forward. And if not now, then when? And if not you, then who? Right? So those different moments in our lives, we don't always sit back and sort of take inventory of it. So one of the things I like to do on my show is, if you've never taken inventory of it, is to actually take a pause and think about your bet on self moments, because it builds confidence. right? And it really allows you sometimes to realize just how strong you are, how confident you are, and how brave you are. And so I'm curious, and any one of you could start, like if a bet on self moment has been sort of triggered in this conversation, or maybe there's a bet on self moment that's about to happen because of sitting in this conversation.
Wait,
I was going to continue.
Go ahead now.
So,
girl.
yeah.
I was hoping that you just go ahead since you gave me that nice alley-oop.
I was gonna, so yeah, that would be me. Rather than staying in that small corner and just hiding in the background, I will now be able to say, okay, I'm now an actress. You know, I can do this.
That's right.
You know
I'm
what I
an
mean? So
actress.
yeah,
Say it with your chest.
yeah, that's me putting myself out there. So yeah.
I would say my biggest bet on self moment is just being a creative. You know what I mean? Just my whole process. I done stand up. I acted in a few things. I have a podcast. So like just ultimately being a creative. That's me putting whatever happens on my own shoulders, especially with my podcast because it's my podcast. So whatever happens with that, however far that goes, however I can stop tomorrow, and that's on me. So just being a young Black creative at that, I think that's my biggest bet on self moment because there's nobody like clamoring at my door. There's nobody beating my door down for roles and none of that. I got to go look for all this. So
can we say that again? You got to go look for it, people. Everybody that's listening, yes, you who's listening right now, get up and go look for it. You got to make opportunities. You got to create your opportunities. You know, I think that's been one of my biggest lessons at 48 is to go make opportunities happen for myself. Sure. Don't wait for people to come and bring you an opportunity. Create them, you know, and I think that right there changes the game when you start creating them.
Absolutely.
Yes, you're on the spotlight. Go ahead.
Honestly, I think I'm still in my bet on self moment.
Okay. That's what's up.
Best answer I can give is just keep listening to God, honestly.
Yeah.
Because you never know what he has next, you know? That's the best I could say. I wish I could tell you like I got up this morning and it was like, yeah, I'm a bet on me or whatever. And I'm always envious of people who have that ability, you know, and I'm trying to build that ability in myself. So I think this movie is a really big motivator. Like I said, it's been therapy of going and driving and getting those things needed for yourself. You know what I mean? Right. But yeah, I guess my best one would be just waiting to see what's next.
I like that. We'll give a couple of shout outs. We got people tuned in from iHeartRadio, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. You know, we see you, right? We know you're there. I appreciate you guys tuning in every Sunday at 10 p.m. Shout out to Mina Shea Style Journey. Shout out to Chris. I see you out there, Chris. Thank you for all of the great comments. I love that you come and you show love, shows love. He said, you know, great conversation, you guys, and great insight. So I love that he said it's a full house tonight. We also had, I think her name is Sharice Turney. If I'm pronouncing your name wrong, please forgive me. And F. Jones is also on here. And I'm sure there's some others that I can't see because it's too many platforms. And I try to focus in on all of the people in the audience that's sitting here in front of me. But I know you're there because the numbers show me. I had a record-breaking week last week where I had over 100 downloads in 7 days.
Oh, awesome.
That
Congratulations.
was the first time I ever had 100 downloads in a 7-day period like that. That was crazy. So people are definitely taking notice and listening to the show. So keep being a creative. I never used to think I was a creative, but you know, I'm starting to embrace that title. So yeah. Any other thoughts about bet on self moments?
So I guess for me, you know, some people have that aha moment, but it's it's been many aha moments along this journey. So for for me, I think also Jamal and Chuck, when we decided to come together and make this film, we thought we were just making a film, and we realized later on that this was going to be a jumping off point for us. So we decided to start a production company. So now we have iconic Conceptions Entertainment company. We have multiple projects in the works here coming up. So when we decided to kind of, stop being safe and start really taking some chances, it's scary. It's still scary. I'm terrified walking in the door here. But
Really? You were scared?
Oh yeah. I mean,
Well, how you feeling now? You feel good?
This has been so much fun. It's been amazing. I feel good. It's been fun.
Good.
It's been amazing.
You're supposed to be scared. I was more scared of y'all. Seriously. So people don't think that folks get nervous. I think, again, knowing you're putting out a movie, and I'm looking at all y'all's media, and you got a press release and all your graphics, and I'm like, they serious. This is, like they on top of their game. I'm like, I should have prepared better. So then they were on time, y'all. They were like super on time. So I'm like, oh shoot, they're already here. Because usually I say 9:30, people come at 9:30, right? And I'm usually early. So I'm like, yes, but I love to see that. I love to see us brown folks doing big things and doing it as if it's already a major movie production. I think I received that energy, and if that's what you guys were trying to do, that's how I felt looking at what you produced. So you should feel really proud.
Thank you.
Right, really, really proud. I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to be a part of the red carpet. I felt really honored to even be asked to, talk with you about the movie. So you're doing something right.
Appreciate that.
You're doing something right. Maybe I'll get a chance to be in a movie. You need like a therapist. Go put a scene.
Of course.
Absolutely. We can get you in there.
Absolutely.
I'm ready.
We'll get you in there.
Yeah, I'll be a therapist. I need a scene. In the next movie, I want to play the therapist. Okay.
Careful what you ask for.
I know what I'm asking for. I'm doing a live bet on some moment right now.
Here we go.
There you go. I like it.
I have one. I was in a music video before, and I was in a book trailer before. I didn't have any lines, but I was in a music video. I have to send it to you. I actually had lines that I made up on the spot. They were like, "We want you to play a real estate agent," and I just acted like my real estate agents that I had seen before. And I just pretended to be one. It was pretty cool. He dropped all this cash on the desk, and I was like, "Oh, I guess we can work with that." That was like I made the lineup on the spot. It was real time. Like, oh, I guess we can work with that. Give me that money. So yeah, I love seeing and hearing people do things that they love. I think for all the listeners out there, I think sometimes you can feel like you got to have all the answers. So I'm curious about that, because when you're going into something like this, did you have that moment of like, we don't know what the heck we're doing, and you still have to move forward anyway?
Yeah. Every scene, yeah, every
moment, every day.
Yeah.
But because people don't think that happens, right? People don't think that you're like, yeah, I don't really know what I'm supposed to do, but I'm going to just tell you this, and pray to God it's right.
So I think all four of us can speak to this, because Chuck has a habit of coming to us with these impossible asks, and then we have us having to figure out how to do it on the spot. I'm talking to you, Chuck. All the time he comes to us. It's like he'll throw in a whole nother line of dialogue, or he'll throw in a whole nother scene that we weren't planning to shoot that day, and then we have to like kind of on the spot just like create it. So the answer is yes.
Wow.
I'm not gonna lie. Yeah. So I had my most like creative. I felt like I was doing right as a creative this day. I'm gonna tell this story. So I record my podcast on Saturday. I was recording the podcast. We had a free shoot day. I didn't think I was shooting this day, right? I get a text like Central Square, 6 p.m. I didn't even get to listen to my podcast back. My hair wasn't done. I wasn't sure if I had to have braids or don't worry about hair. I get that. I
Wait
get
a minute. So you gonna just have me have a whole different hairstyle in this scene?
I
You
get
gonna
there.
pull a Tyler Perry, where it's like
Nah.
different in the different frames.
Nah, they wouldn't do me like that. They wouldn't do me like that.
Y'all know what I'm talking about.
They wouldn't do me like that. But then I get there and have a whole different line. I liked it because I'm like, oh, all right. If I can do this, I can do anything. But man, to speak to the point, yeah, that was one of those ones. That was
But
one
when
of
you
those ones.
have those moments though, when you're like pushed out of your comfort zone, you don't really know what you're gonna do. It scares the heck out of you, but it builds your confidence too. Like,
Sure.
so
For
it's
sure.
like you kind of need those moments in life.
Yeah, and I appreciate Chuck for even testing me like that because, man, that was man, that was a day.
Yeah, that's super dope. So, can you guys believe we got like 9 minutes left to the show? It goes by quick.
Yeah,
does.
It does go by quick. So, I want each one of you to take a minute and just let the people know why they need to come and support this film. What if you had like an elevator speech? You only had that minute to tell them on why they need to be there on August 3rd. What would you say, one at a time?
Sure, I'll get started. Well, if you are looking to support, or if you've ever thought about supporting independent filmmaking, this is your opportunity to do that. If you've ever been that person where you wanted to do something in the entertainment space or wherever, this is your opportunity to support people who have done that, who've taken that step, who've gone into that realm of not of uncomfortability. I think that's a word, right? And just been able to do it. And as far as the film itself goes, there's a little bit of everything in this film. There, it's all love. So you have the love stories, we have the drama, we have some action to it. There's a little bit of everything in this film. It was very well written, well executed, and you'll get to see some up and coming stars as far as this cast goes. So that's a good reason to come see it.
Okay, all right, we're getting some hearts. Y'all like that? You definitely give more hearts. If you want to follow right now, All Love the Movie 2024 on Instagram, so you can stay updated on everything. All Love. Next up, Shamika.
I'm gonna say to not to piggyback off of Adrian, but also as well, come support your Boston family. Boston natives. We're from here. It's a Boston story. So, and also you're supporting also Charles Jones, the author. So, and it was fun to actually be a part of this. It was a blessing. So I hope I see you guys out there on August 3rd.
Yes. Thank you. We have Nini. She said, can't wait to see the movie and all you have been pouring into it. So thank you, Nini, for tuning in. Make sure you get a selfie, get a picture on the red carpet.
You're sitting at home. You're gonna be bored. You're watching Netflix or something anyhow. So you might as well just come on down to the theater August 3rd. Come see your folks, man. That's all. I would tell you a lot. I could go into the movie. I'm not gonna do none of that. You're gonna be watching movies anyway. Come on, get dressed, pop out for your people.
Yeah, pop out for your people. Kendrick said it the best. Sometimes you gotta pop out.
Or what she said, Kendrick.
Don't do that, bro.
You gotta pop out and show, like I ain't gonna use the other word, but you gotta pop out and show.
Yeah, you're gonna have a great day out. You're gonna get a chance to see an amazing movie. I don't know about you, but I don't ever get a chance to go see a great movie and meet the amazing cast. You'll win some brownie points with your significant other because you get to get dressed up and take her out and have her walk a red carpet. And side note, one lucky Patreon will also win a chance to get some VIP free Usher tickets.
Like Usher.
Usher.
Should we win those?
How do
No.
you win? Oh.
In the spirit of love and passion and all of those things that is wrapped up in this movie. Yeah. So
Well, just to answer Don's question, no, cast and crew cannot win the ticket.
unfortunately, no.
Yes,
No.
but yes,
So that means Coach can win.
Coach can win.
Possibly.
Yeah, Coach can win. Yeah.
Possibly. But you got to go to the movie to see it. To get those tickets.
Even if I'm like a special guest, can I win?
Yeah,
As long as you show up through that door and you watch that movie.
I should just, hook me up. Because I'm just great and I deserve Usher tickets.
You're right about that.
All right. So thank you for coming and just talking about the movie. I think what social media and platforms like the Urban Heat allow people to connect. And I think the beautiful thing now is that I think more and more creatives are touchable. You can connect with them. I mean, it could be a plus, I guess, a plus and a minus to a certain extent, but I think it's sort of taken away a lot of the celebrity feel of a lot of things because people are so accessible, right? Like before it was like the only thing you could do is read a magazine or something, but now it's just like, look at Chris Brown. He's like taking these pictures with his, he takes some great pictures. Geez, the boy has great marketing. And what's beautiful about what's happening too is that more and more people are now taking control and being more independent in terms of their marketing and their promotion. And I think it's giving more space to be able to do independent films and different things where you don't need these moguls and big movie productions for you to be seen and for people to know about you. So I think you should come for that reason. I think you need to come because if we want to have more voices, scripts, up and coming actors, we have to create these opportunities ourselves, but we need people to support it, right? Or what's going to happen is only the large companies that have big pockets that can market up the yin yang, that's the movies we'll see. So please come out, tell a friend to tell a friend, and come walk the red carpet. Let's make this thing like, how'd you guys say it? The hottest summer ever, right? Like how many times and how often do we have a movie premiere, a Black movie premiere in Boston where we can come out, show out, and just be on some real Hollywood status? So that's what I'm saying. Come out, show up, show out. Thank you, Iconic Conceptions Entertainment. We got like mad love. They're like salute to you guys. All right. Oh my goodness, 2 minutes. Final words.
So just a quick shout out to again to the cast and crew. I wanted to mention Danny Groom at Paract Entertainment, who's partnered with a bunch of other films and who's handling the editing for this. So it's been amazing editing and photo direction as well.
More shout outs. Come on, get your shout outs in.
Follow me at Everybody Got a Podcast. You can listen to that everywhere. You can listen to podcasts at. Sorry to do that on your podcast.
Shout out to our cast. Okay, shout out to our cast.
Shout out to Coach La.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah,
And
thanks
thank her for
us.
having us on her show. We had a great time. I really appreciate this. It was awesome.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys. I'm looking forward to seeing the movie. I really am. I'm a movie buff too, so hopefully I can bring a couple people with me to experience it too.
Bring them on.
Yeah.
More the merrier.
Yeah, Coach La crew, come on out. Come on
Okay,
out.
hold on.
Expect the unexpected. Unorthodox radio from Boston and beyond. Meet 981fm.com and iHeart Station.
So you guys have tuned into another episode of Conversations with Coach Light. That means we got to get out of here. You guys, thank you. Go see All Love, follow All Love, the movie 2024. Reshare this interview and all that good stuff and win those Usher tickets. Thank you and good night.
Good night.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Coach Black, for having us.
Didn't talk for hours about anything. Baby, you hang up, no, you hang up on 3.